This call is now being recorded.
Is that every once in a while you can have a meta vision. You know, it's like you're standing, you're able to be a peacemaker. You know, it's funny because it's your gift of mediation. And so when June 1 rolls around, you people can participate, and you know that's so funny that people came up with the idea of FUD. You know, and it's like there's going to be plenty of FUD, and you know what? It's the FUD is going to fail against the reality of the good things that are happening in the community, and that includes all participants. And so, you know, that's where the idea of don't burn any bridges, but rather forgive each other your trespasses and move forward in building a healthy, happy community. And so it's like that's kind of the message. And then what's hilarious, though, is that the network, your personal network, can bring in an influential, you know, a fresh air, a breeze, you know, it's like a breeze of good, you know, here's the good tidings.
My personal network is fucking gold, Jay. I have 3 friends that are solid quality people to where I realized when I was hearing them say what they were saying, it's like these people know me very well and intimately, and this is what they think of me. A lot of people have no clue who I am, and just hearing them say that and knowing that they would come on air and we can talk about things and what they're like, regardless if you think they're authoritative or trustworthy or not, you know, this is one other person's voice besides mine. So here's my new idea. Ready for this one? 24-hour live stream all day long, and we get everybody in the EOS community to get in to where we get as many different live streams and things going, and like I can start training people on how to create their Twitter spaces over here. We got a smart contract we can do over there. Like how many people, you know, and then I'll be the hub. Like, what do you got going? What's going on? We report back, you know, and I can use the Web3 group that catapult that.
Yep. And so part of it can be, you know, sometimes a theme of a project kind of, it's like the cream that bubbles up to the top, and it's the good. It creates a nugget of truth that here's the message that we're trying to communicate. And I think in this case, you know, it's almost arguably a fact that the ICO was the biggest rug pull that's ever been accomplished in one, you know, in one offering of a token. And so,
I mean, the $4 billion was the biggest initial coin offering.
So it's like, so that's what's the sad news is that was part of the history of what we're trying to, you know, like the phoenix that arises out of the flames, you know, and carries something new life into it. And so kind of, I think the theme is that what was missing was, it wasn't that the project itself was a rug pull. It's that the token holders were left with no organizational, community, cooperative group of friends who were helpful, who could provide leadership and good governance. And so you can explain that the evolution of this particular blockchain and its iterations, you know, including the chief architect, Dan Larimer, who's rightfully solving problems by working on a new chain launch, which is perfectly appropriate if you have a common sense, good heart of global vision. You're just like, if the old chain has issues, let's launch a new one, you know, and it's like, it's a beautiful evolution, and everybody, you know, it kind of fits into a beautiful fractal. It's like, hey, this, when you look at a sunset, you go, and then the sun rises the next morning, the sun sets again, and the clouds have shifted, and it still makes a beautiful, you know, scenic view. It's like, we need to move on from our limitations and work together as communities to support each other in our projects. I mean, it's not, you know, the world doesn't revolve around one chain, you know, that's the end all be all. It's like we're expressing our creativities in ways that we can cooperate, you know, and so you have a meta view of building a vision that the EOS community is still you know, it's an open source community to work together to create really cool things, you know, and it's like so the investment of buying tokens, it's not necessarily a wise investment. And so it's like you're not condemning you're not shaming the victims. You're just saying that to the extent any or all of us have been hurt, we need to we need to forgive, not necessarily the people who are the objects of forgiveness need the forgiveness, but for us to move forward, you have to, like the person who forgives benefits as much as the person who's forgiven, so it's like it's healthy to say, look at the vision that we have going forward and the tools with which we still have, including contributions of the chief architect, who happens to be who's very, one of the best qualities you can have is humility and teachability. And it's like, it's go ahead and test it out. Like, does the, if an architect is building homes, and he didn't have a architectural engineer to test the weight-bearing capacity of a wall, it's like the next house has solved that issue. We now have weight-bearing capacity, in all of our walls in the new structure. And so we may have to, yeah.
I want to go back to something, but I want you to keep talking about that. But before I forget, this whole thing about the $4 billion. Okay, everyone sees it as a loss, right? Everyone sees it, and it was.
Right.
And it's like, it's not Dan's fault so much as the purse strings were. He wasn't allowed to ever do what he wanted, and then when he tried to come back again to do it, there's this mess, and he still can't do what he wants. But now he's being blamed for a bit, and he's still trying to do pretty much the same thing. But through that, he learned a lot and comes and gained newer insights and vision, right? So the way I look at it is this: from a marketing perspective, that $4 billion is gold. For me, I haven't even started working on my own website really for my own web marketing business. And here I am intermixed in this content creation culture and all this Web3 stuff.
Right.
And probably nobody cares if I have them. If I can pull this off, that's what that's what they're interested in.
So
that's hugely valuable. SEO wise, like we can pump this.
Right, exactly. And so, and you know what? I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid. It's like I understand economies of scale and eyeballs wanting to click, and and if you have an audience, of 400 million who are very interested, it's like, wow, what a marketing opportunity. And then I think, and so then with knowledge comes a responsibility to act in accord with the knowledge that you have. And so it's almost like I want to stress the importance of, for you, to keep your eyes on the ball of first principles. It's not just like, hey, can we have an audience of 400 million or whatever it's going to be? It's can we stay true to true north principles of saying, because you know what? It's so funny because that's like you've pointed out, like Covey principles and your other, examples of business successes. Like when you're out there to serve the customer, the customers appreciate it so much that they're willing to say, Doug's a trustworthy person with my commitment to do business with him because he's telling me the truth. And he's saying that this is not just a pie in the sky vision of moving forward with this blockchain community, but it's a vision of how we can evolve, a network of computers and people that can interact peer-to-peer and help build tools and mechanism and wallet systems and trust account systems where you can exchange tokens simply and safely, securely, and that's because we're improving the engineering and architecture and the fundamentals, and it's alive and well, and it's happening in big governance over blockchain technologies are happening all over. It's DAO is not just a coincidence that everybody's trying to do it. It's because it's a necessary and fundamental piece of the success of our project and our social interactions. We want to just be able to trust each other and exchange tokens or buy and sell products and services, and that's why we're here. And we're going and we have the it's kind of like the 6 million, that we have the technology, we can rebuild him. It's like we're creating a $6 million man out of technology that's trustworthy. So but I hear you loud and clear. It's really fun. I forget, there's a word for that, it's like synergy, or there's another word for it when, you're getting 5 phone calls in 5 minutes from people who are saying, Doug, you're the perfect networker. And, communicator of this message that's of global import right now. Can you go, like, turn on your computer, let's go live right now? It's like, and Twitter is exploding virally because, you know, somebody has a breakthrough in blockchain and tokenization of the world in a way that's fun, happy, healthy, true, and right, you know, so let's do it.
So basically what I'm thinking is there's a couple different things. Is number one, I've been having some I've been trying to curate content that's been on my mind lately and some hot stuff. Okay? And now there's a guy named Chi Blanc is something, I don't remember, but he's a musician, and he sent me this message. Let me read it to you real quick. I don't know if you're a Genesis holder. I am, and my loss is huge. Lost everything. Now trying to figure out how I can find an exit. It's been said, community-driven network, the community fired B1, and took the lead, etc. I don't believe this. Community doesn't have respect to each other, just insulting, trolling, etc. No one asks anything to community. I really want to be part of a real community. How about to start a new EOS community Telegram group and only access with their EOS accounts? Is it possible on Telegram to log in with Anchor? I don't believe that we have a power over anything. So with the help of the EOS community Telegram group, we can vote for, let's say, a press secretary, maybe 3 or 4 people. Through him or her, we can ask questions to the ENF or BPs or Trust EVM team, etc. I believe that would be more effective to reach the true knowledge. Also, meetings with ENF can be held. It's messy right now. Sorry to say that, but still, answers are not enough. Also, we can discuss and give some decisions so ENF can really say that community wants this or don't want this. Otherwise, it's all in the air. Who is the community? Who said yes or no? I'm so scared of the idea of the failure of EVM. I'm trying to learn about more, but no answers. Zach told that they will announce how the ENF will attract devs to the EVM. I really wonder if they made a research or poll that shows some numbers. Are we chasing a dream? We are too late. We have only one
Oh,
voice.
wow. Wow. Okay, so that's, you want to, that's, so sorry about my cough. So that's huge. I was totally tracking, and I mean, I don't know if you want to go all the way through, but he just made a huge point right there. It's like, you know, if you're steering a ship and you're trying to get from point A to point B, if you make a wrong turn, it blows the whole trip because you're supposed to get from point A to point B, not point C. But you know what?
Nobody's agreed on where we're going.
Right.
Nobody even knows. No. We're just on this boat.
Okay, so here's how I see it. You know, because you know, think of a juggler. It's like, or you open a can of tennis balls, and like I'm juggling 1 tennis ball. Now I'm doing 2, and now I'm juggling 3 tennis balls. It's like, you know, there are a few moving parts here, and one of them is, you know, principle in business. It's like it's okay to try something, and if it fails, then you fail fast, and then you move forward. So it's not necessarily true, you know, that the ENF's leadership say, to the extent it's leading the EOS community, that if it goes down a path of trust EVM, that's a wrong turn and it's going to crash the whole EOS blockchain. It's just it may just be one initiative that it could help. It could, you know, like it could achieve its purposes, which is to bring developers and knowledge and interest into the community of building out EOS. So it's like it's not necessarily good, bad, or ugly. It's just a thing. So but back to where you're on a mission though. It's like, well, what is, like, I want you to stick to your mission, which is to be, you know, SEO communicator, and create a global audience that follows you to help make good decisions, you know. And so it's like, to the extent that that's your mission, then I think you're going to take off like a rocket. And so you can stick to your own, you know. It's like you asked me this question yesterday. It's like, Jay, you know, what are you all about? What's your first principles? And it's like, well, spread the gospel, you know, explain to people that, hey, just like Bitcoin keys, like you don't want to lose those. And if somebody says, yeah, Bitcoin's the way, well, maybe I'm saying the Bible's the way and it's true and it points to God. And if you want a true north principle, test out the gospel, see if it's true or not. You know, if Bitcoin is worth exploring, why not the Bible? And maybe both are good pathways forward.
You know what I was about to post on Decency before I called you? Now I forgot and now I remembered again talking to you. I was going to say something about like, I assert we need to tokenize Jesus Christ on the blockchain. And then just like a post like that and not explain it. And then what I was going to do is later talk about it on the live stream. Like I posted today, you know, and then I'll pull the post up and then I'll be all like, let's talk about what I mean by this. I was like, who is Jesus Christ? Like, let's ask people, who is Jesus Christ? Some people say he's God. Some people say he's man. Some people say he's a prophet. Some people say he's a liar. Some people say he's a fiction. You know?
Right.
But I think
and ultimately,
hold on, listen. One thing we could probably all agree on is Jesus Christ was a human. And he was and he represented the essence of what it means to be human. And that's what I think that we need on the blockchain. And if you think Jesus Christ is God too, and he represents what was God, well, I think we need that on the blockchain too. You know,
well, I have to, and there is such a thing as knowledge and beliefs and commitments to your knowledge and beliefs, and it's like we can get into and there's logic, and then questions of reality. You know, people are asking what is real, what is reality, and those are the best questions. And if you know, if people are offended, and then it's so funny, it's hilarious because it creates so much emotional internal conflict, you know, but it's just because it's painful. Sometimes the truth is painful. We need to work through that, you know, as to the extent.
And that's EOS. That's EOS, right? It's no different.
Yeah.
But
and so,
this is the condition of the human situation.
Yeah. And so that's so much fun about, you know, what is our, if we're still doing our, you know, Sundays at 2 p.m. Pacific time YouTube videos, it's like, you know, all, you know, it's open forum, you know, it's philosophy, religion, technology, blockchain, and whatever else you want to talk about.
Yeah, Leap is trying to make suggestions.
What, the purpose, what's the purpose of this phone call?
Oh, I just wanted to tell you, that I'm having all this dialogue, and so there's going to be a whole new injection of content into our 2 p.m. thing based on whatever happens between.
Great.
I mean, combining what happens as I talked to you last till when I get there, and I want to try to get a little more organized now because if I see how this is sort of organically rolling. So now, because Zach contacted me about SEO just right before this.
Oh, that's really fun. Yeah, I mean, so part of the answer is not just I'll send you my resume, but just watch, just wait, see, and watch. You know, it's like
no. Let me finish. Let me tell you what I want to say. Okay, so Zach is contacting me and he's asking me about my SEO background. So I'm just explaining it, but I haven't sent the Telegram message yet. And then as I'm writing this, Leaf is contacting me, telling me about Zach. And then I'm sending him, because he like loves Zach, and he's like, ooh, here I am with Zach. And I'm like, well, I don't necessarily think that highly of Zach, because I'm in the OG EOS plebs group, and I'm reading about what they're saying about Zach and what information I'm getting. And that's not fully disclosed to the whole EOS community, but it's from what I consider a reliable inside source. And so I'm looking at like this whole thing like a circus show to me. Cause I'm like, dude, I might look like a schlub. You know, I don't have a website. I'm missing a tooth. I've got dirt grimy clothes, but I know my shit. You know, that's the way I look at it. And all look all great on the outside, but as far as I can tell, it's sort of obvious that you guys suck. Like your marketing sucks. You don't know SEO. You don't know what the hell you're doing. You know? And so, I mean, that's pushing it to an extreme. And I feel confident and competent to say that. Because I'm just one person who like used to make $80 an hour fixing computers and charge $50 an hour doing web work and didn't get a lot of web work because I didn't like building websites for other people. And I don't like building websites, period. But I can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just quit doing my job with computers to get into web because I didn't want to trade my time for an hour wage. I want to build something that creates recurring revenue that scales. You know, it's information sharing and all that. And so basically when Lee said that and I realized that, I'm like, oh shit, I know what to do. I'm going to organize a 24-hour live stream. And I was thinking, do I go from UTC to UTC or do I go, when does it hit, June 1st? What's the earliest place where the time zone is. Where's UTC? So we start then, and the last place when it ends June 1st, we end there. Okay, so so basically what I want to try and do is organize like clockwork, a synchronization across all the different language groups and communities. And so like I have the language translation skills, but it's going to be like the kind of thing. I can't do it all, but so I'm going to start contacting people right now.
So let me
just invite people to the group. I'm going to get in the Web3 thing and start getting people outside of EOS.
Let me
like in the space.
Doug, I'm all in with you. So let me be a sounding board. Let me bounce back an idea for you concerning your 24-hour marathon on June 1st. Okay, so there's such it's a crazy marketing tool, but people have, and you would probably want to pick, because Twitter is popular and everybody who's going to be part of your audience probably has a Twitter address, that before June 1st, which is, oh my gosh, when is June 1st?
Within a few days.
So you create
I'm going to performance contract. I'm going to make a performance contract with Zach. Like, I'm going to get you this much, like this or that. And like, if I don't, you don't pay me nothing, but I do, you pay me this. You know, or
okay,
like
no, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Ask the ENF for an immediate funding. And I don't know if it's too much to ask, because I think EOS is like less than $1 right now. I think whatever it is. But let me just spill the beans, and then you can figure out how you can make it work. If you do a 24-hour marathon and you're live streaming on your YouTube page, and since we're launching a new YouTube page, you may want to just use the June 1st as a Living Tech promotional, this is Living Tech, we're sponsors of, and came out of the EOS community. And if you comment on this video and just put your Twitter address, you will be entered into the Living Tech family of membership. And then it's like, it entitles you to, gifts, awards, member rewards, and whatever, and all you have to do is, if you want to be in on our membership benefits community, list your Twitter address. And then what's funny is that if a kid happens upon your marathon, and you're flashing, images of E1 or Dan Larimer or Brendan Bloomer, and it's like, what is the truth behind this thing? Is there a future? Is there a hope, that we can rise like a phoenix from the ashes? And it's like, if you're interested to find out what's happening in the future, join our membership community, list your Twitter, comment on this YouTube video with your Twitter address, and we will be part of the solution, and it's like, and then what we can do is, just like I participate, I own a, .eth, a couple of names. One of them's holyspirit.eth. And, so because I own a .eth, web address, they did, an airdrop, but you couldn't just claim your ENS new token. You had to vote. And then, so you log in, you vote, and then they do a transaction, and they drop ENS coins, which can be used to renew your domain address for holyspirit.eth. So I did that. But the reason I'm bringing it up, it was such a valuable experience of how to do a well-formed airdrop, because you validate the users who want to participate in the airdrop, and they're excited enough to participate, and then they do it. So I think, like you were saying, it's like, oh my gosh, Jay, you don't understand. I have a 400 million member audience that if I do a Twitter live stream for 24 hours and run it on YouTube live streaming, that it's going to take off like virally. And it's like, Doug, how about this? Use it to launch Living Tech channel, and you can have a.
I don't think that's the move. I think.
Okay. Well, here's. Let me just say this. I'm trying, and I'm neutral. I'm just trying to be a sounding board. What I'm suggesting.
Listen. I want to use the name WItsUp. You know why?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, no, it's not about the channel, the name of the channel, anything. I'm trying to bounce. Listen,
there's a big reason why I think the name is very crucially important.
Okay, it's fine. So let's say we go with WItsUp. Okay, WItsUp. Okay, good. And then what I'm suggesting is is that if you do a 24-hour Twitter/YouTube marathon live streaming, then you may want to every 5 minutes you're saying that this is a community membership drive. It's voluntarily, if you're interested in tracking with me the future of these blockchain technologies coming out of the original EOS ICO and seeing where it's going to go, just drop your Twitter name, Twitter handle into the comments.
Can you do me a favor and type that out and send it to me, what you're thinking? Like, don't tell me. Type it out, because I'm going to do every single idea that anyone suggests me, I'm going to do. Okay? So I'm glad that you're telling me, but you don't need to be telling me, because it's trivial to me. Because what's more important is getting the infrastructure to do it. Because you can just call me during the stream, tell me what to do, and I'm going to educate people and do it all right during the stream. You get what I'm saying? And so, like, I'm going to start teaching people how to launch their own streams. I'm going to teach them how to tweet, and I'm going to build up an army right there, and I'm going to get more people to come in. And then I want them, because I'm going to have people, I'm going to start sending people to, like, okay, what's going on in the ecosystem? You go on this Twitter channel. It's like, send someone to that Twitter channel and come back here and tell me what they're talking about right now. Like, you go over here, like,
I have
massive. At Stavon doing his trust stop thing, Phoenix over here, you know, talking about that, you know, just a fucking madhouse, but everyone records it. So it's this massive content creation party of value content and questions and answers. And I could start a survey. I could introduce my social dating website, the EOS Open Stage. Like, they're all not ready. They're not built, but it doesn't matter. I'm like, hey, you know, it just happened. Like, it's organic. And, you know, and so we're going to have to figure this out, Jay. We're going to talk about
Doug, today. I have a question. This is so I have a partnership question, and I'm not suggesting that we are partners. I'm not suggesting we're 50-50 partners. I'm not even suggesting that we're not just two friends who are working on projects together. So this is it's not meant to be a loaded question. It's just a straightforward question. What's in it for Jay on the June 1 project as far as, you know, if for example, I could say, you know, you said, Jay, send it to me in writing. What if I funnel all of the Twitter addresses to my database? And it's like, well, wait a second. I thought this was, you know, it's like, so my question to you is, how does this fit within our, like, if we want to do a partnership?
Like this. You send it to me, and then when I post it, I go submitted by Jay Taylor. I don't have a blockchain stamp or anything, but I'm just saying these ideas, and I have a contributed source. You know, like, I'm just repeating it. You get what I'm saying? I'm creating the mechanism.
Here's what I'm suggesting is, I think June 1 is a brilliant idea for you to do a 24-hour live stream. I'm happy to participate in that. But fundamentally, like, it makes sense for me to ask Doug, how would you like to the extent we're two guys who are working together, like one answer to my question might be, Jay, if you want to form a, you know, and I don't have a name for it because you want to use the WItsUp, which is fine, because that can be your channel, that can be your I'm all in favor of you launching your brand online as WItsUp. I think that's awesome. And then, but what we could do is we could have the WItsUp Club, and it's like, concerning the WItsUp Club, the membership club, that could be part of WItsUp, but it's just one of 57, you know, pieces of our enterprise, and it could be like as far as the club goes.
It could be so many different little businesses and projects.
Right. And so what I'm suggesting.
Do you know any attorneys?
So what I'm suggesting is that if you do your June 1st 24-hour live streaming promotional thing that you say, Jay, you know what? If you want to launch a club out of that, and you want to be 50-50 partners as the club founders, then and we're going to run this club network. And it's like all that's needed is they submit a Twitter address, and then we may have a little form. You click here, click this link, check this box to validate and certify your club membership or whatever.
Great. Okay, have fun. Do it. Great. Sounds okay. Great. You got any more ideas that you want to do?
So, all right. So we're forming a WItsUp club, which is hilarious. And then, what do you want to do at 2:00 today? Do you want to still do our thing? Or do you might need so here's the thing.
You not understand? I want to be talking about this during this thing is my whole point. It's like, why are we wasting our time talking to each other when we could talking in front of a live audience, getting their suggestions, allowing them to give us feedback and contribute ideas and building it right there. Because we don't even need to talk to it helps to prepare, but it's almost like we have so much free-flowing conversation. If we just start inviting other people.
All right. So here's, let's say, well, the first thing a lawyer would want to do when two guys are forming a partnership deal and they want to go live on a live stream and say, what deal do the two of you have? Have you articulated it, and have you put it down into writing? And that, an email that says, hi Doug, this is Jay. We're going to do a 50-50 partnership concerning WItsUp. Is that your understanding of the arrangement? And then you can say, well, I was thinking more like 70-30 or 60-40, but as long as you go, 60-40, then it's a deal. It's like, because you could say, if in fairness, yeah.
If you want to do a written contract and do that, I don't mind, but then we have to get into specifics. In very detailed. If you just want to do a verbal and spirit, I prefer that because it's faster and simpler. And I really don't care as long as it doesn't take too much of my time. Providing value.
Here's what I'm suggesting. Here's
what I want to be doing in my business. But if it's beneficial and needed, why not?
Here's what 3 years of law school got me. Some of the best contracts that have ever been written as at a Denny's all-night diner, and they say, Jay, do you want to launch a satellite? And it's like, yeah. Well, who brings what to the table? It's like, it sounds like presumptively, if two partners get together, you would do a 50-50 split. But I would say, and you write that on your napkin. What I'm telling you is, you have twice as much energy and social networking power than I do. And because this is partly energy and social networking power, I think that if we want to do a WItsUp partnership, that it should be 60-40, where Doug is 60% ownership and Jay is 40% ownership. It's kind of like Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon. It's like, I'm just sitting in the chair next to you. You have the microphone.
That even sounds better, but then I'm going to ask you one more thing. How about you be my retainer attorney, and that's included as part of the partnership? So if I have any legal advice or issues, I can turn to you for them and no fee.
Right, and that actually would create.
And I can let me answer the trade because I want to give you services even if you don't compensate me.
Doug, let me answer that question directly. I can't. I ethically and professionally, responsibly, I cannot form a partnership that includes the provisions of legal services as part of the deal.
Then we'll pay you. We'll roll the money around. That's fine.
Right, which is fine. Yeah, and that's a separate issue. So no, this is what's really funny is not just this call, not just WItsUp, not just DrWu, but generally speaking, I'm giving you wise advice, which is, hey Doug, if you're talking to a potential partner who you guys want to launch a project together, you need to just say, what is our partnership ownership of this project? And so it's like, that's a question for you to, it's just smart because and both of us are presumptive. And by the way, it's like, that's another reason I'm giving a nod to you. It's like, I value you. I value your contribution more than mine.
I appreciate that. I'm glad that you see and recognize value in me because I see and recognize value in you. And you might feel as though the value that I can create in this marketing, whatever SEO realm is greater than yours, and that's probably accurate. But the funny thing is that like, I really realize I need an attorney, and I have a lot of things that I need a friend, and you know.
Well, of course. I mean, that's the synergy.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't care what deal you offer me because I like you so much, I want you so much that I'm not worried about you screwing me because I trust you so much. And even if I was to give up more, it's like you're so valuable to me. I really don't give a shit. Like, I'm just going to say yes to whatever you say. Like, cause I don't even want to think about it more. But then, furthermore, let me just say this. Furthermore, the funny thing is that, oh shoot, what was I going to go with this? That, when you started talking about this really, like, if you were really setting a thing, and I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, dude, this is you, Jay. Like, if it was like the ENF or something else, I would treat it like, even Pomerone was sort of like cringing over. And so for me, it's sort of like funny how I could just go completely, like, with the right person, have a completely different set of rules and standards.
It's great when people, absolutely. Best partnerships involve people who trust each other. And so, can you telegram just your email address? And I'm just going to say, hey, Doug, the foundation of our partnership, including WItsUp, is going to be a 60-40 partnership with DrWu owning 60% of the venture and Jay owning 40% of it. And then we can, it's so funny. It's like the way to make your best contracts is you start the foundation. You can always make adjustments. It's like if I say, well, I want to fund it with $1 billion, and it's like, well, we're going to have to probably adjust the, the percentage ownership here because money talks. Money can sometimes get half, for example. And so it's like, oh, okay, well, so our foundation is going to be 60-40. If you agree with that, I'll send you an email and just reply agreed, and we're done.
Okay, you're Jay at jtaylor.com?
Yeah, so it's jtaylor@lawjay.com. So JAYTAYLOR at LAWJAY.com. And just call it the WItsUp social marketing and SEO company business.
Oh, no. See, I think, let me think about that for a second. Because what I want to not do is trap myself in a category. WItsWalker is not just SEO. You're missing that point. That's why I didn't like Living Technology. Because see, when we do the channel name under WItsUp, but I have a specific kind of content, I can easily push those people out into my living channel. But the WItsUp is like the aggregator for all issues, not just blockchain. Okay, so I have a big interest in sustainability, a big interest in politics, a big interest in criminality, all sorts of topics of social issues that have nothing to do with the blockchain. But I'm using the blockchain and featuring a highly relevant issue to this larger context issue of the blockchain.
Call it a web-based company. But if you want to say WItsUp, the web-based company venture.
You know what I want to be called? I want to be called a global cultural redeveloper. Is that an actual thing, and can I invent it? Because I want to redevelop culture. I want to innovate the redesign of culture through intelligent design.
And write that down, and then together with freedom engineering is a good.
We'll have to work more into, but we can, figure that. See, the thing is, it's like it's changing the thinking. Because on the SEO marketing thing, it's like, because what I'm doing is education with all this.
I was trying to capture your vision into a phrase, and maybe it would be a web-based company, that's open-ended. And so,
that's fine. I get
and we
went,
So just so.
Is it a DAO? No, is it a DAO? Should we tokenize, sir? I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, I mean that's hilarious.
You have to wait.
We're going to teach
for
people.
The dust to settle.
Part of our mission is to teach people just exactly how to do that. That's right. So what's really funny is that us living out first principles is actually one of the best ways for you and for me to succeed individually and together is to live out our faith, our philosophy, and our friendship in a way that's beautiful. So,
That's why I think we need to put Jesus on the blockchain. We need to tokenize Jesus, Dave.
And as a lawyer, I'll help you communicate that message in a way that's not offensive. You know, a little bit of offense is good. You know, there's offense and defense, so let's do it. And
good cop, bad. You're getting it. Yeah, you got it. That's why I need you. This will be fun.
Okay, so do you want to send me an email that says our WItsUp web company is going to be 60% DrWu and 40% Jay Taylor, and then we just tweak it from there?
Yeah, whatever. Okay. The thing I want to say, though, is my intent with WItsUp is to raise the elevation of the conversation and the dialogue, right? And so through that, my first topic we're tackling is the blockchain and technology and education and all and whatever, what people are trying to do. But this, I would call that, like, that falls under the category of living technology. So I could simultaneously have a WItsUp, because just like I have WitsWalker, like WitsWalker World and WitsWalker Wu are all part of Wu Web Marketing and Multimedia.
That's called an umbrella of organizations where, you know, the first seed was WItsUp, a web-based company, and then all the subparts of that are under the umbrella of WItsUp.
Well, you know what I think it should be? Can we make it a web, like in education, and add the education part? Because I'm all about the education part.
I want
to get a .edu, because if I can get post-secondary accreditation in Oklahoma, which I think I can achieve over time easily, then I can get access to IBM Watson AI for free. Teachers and
think of these words: web education and development. A web education and development company.
Perfect. Because especially when I'm launching with the blockchain training session with the Trust Swap EVM, that's perfect. Perfect. And I'll be all like, okay, you don't have a Twitter account? We're going to have someone out here to help people set up with Twitter accounts. They're going to start up a live stream. So you go, who raises their hand in the stream? Who knows how to set up a Twitter account? Okay, you do? Okay, do you know how to do streaming? You don't. Okay. I'll teach you. Oh, no, you can help them? You go help them. You know what I'm saying? It's like just start commanding an army and just have our goal is to see how many different live streams and content we can create and how can we archive it all and index it? Like, get Patrick involved. You want to mind web this, Patrick? We're going to have like 10,000 pieces of it. Like, how are we going to do it? You know what I'm saying? It's like we're already just out of a spontaneous, crazy idea. We're like, if we could do something just viral and fun.
Write this email. Dear Jay, this email is written to propose a partnership agreement.
You write it for me. You write it for me. I'll just sign it. I'll just send it back. Okay. I'll change it.
Okay. Sounds good. And then we're going to go live at 2 o'clock.
So here's what I'm thinking. If you want to do that, let's do this before I try to seal a deal with Zach, where basically I'm going to think about this a little more, see if I can get some dialogue going. And I seriously want to do I don't want to ask for money up front. Okay. I want to do it like Dan Larimer, like get rewarded after, because that's my sleeping system model, right? Because I don't even know what I can produce either, right? And so, but I'm confident I could do something, and it's part of the thing where, like, he's going to do all this effort, and if he doesn't achieve it, and he doesn't get paid, he doesn't even care. Like, and so that's going to make people think, man, I want to support this guy. I want to donate to his cause. I'm going to hit his PayPal button, you know what I'm saying?
And what's hilarious, if nothing else, Zach, whether he has great qualities or some negative qualities, he certainly is a pillar in the ENF/EOS, you know, going forward community. And so just like one reference from him, like, join the 6-1 WItsUp live stream 24 hours, everything EOS and blockchain, you know, and here's his link. You know, it's like, what a launch.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. So basically what I want to do is come up with some proposal or pitch I can give the ENF like 24 hours to decide on. Like, not even give a little bit like we need this right away is what I do. If you don't want it, and then if they don't fund it or if we don't achieve it, I just talk about it. Yeah, I offered them. They didn't want to fund me, but this is what I did, you know. Anyone else? Oh, you guys over there want to fund me? Some other blockchain wants me? What? Well, who are you? Talk to me. You know, maybe I'm going to go over here instead. That's what I play the practically in the ENF against each other and say, who appreciates my value more? Who wants to compensate me first? You know, oh, you guys are too slow for me. I'm out of here. I'm over here. You know, like.
And you know what else is that? What's one of my roles right now is. So I did participate in the last Eden election, and I got elected as a delegate. So I'm an Eden delegate, and so what we can do is part of my. I can put in the EOS community and Eden on EOS community, which is has a large. It's like 1,500, I think, and then then there's a smaller Eden members group, and so as an Eden delegate, currently active, I can say, you know, here's part of the contribution that I'm making of the WItsUp to promote Eden and raise awareness and show the good things that they're doing concerning good governance. You know, that'll be part of the 6-1 live stream project.
And you know what else? There's a lot of Eden delegates that are holding EOS that haven't spent it on whatever they could spend it on for EOS or Eden or whatever. And so, like, we could actually move faster and get the Eden group organized faster than the chief delegates, you know, like in a real substantive way, and get more, like, all the people who've been griping and crying and not, like, having their Telegram chats deleted or being booted.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so,
we have a home
as a delegate, I'm going to definitely want to have, you know, I'll be able to say, hey, Dad, I'll take 30 minutes of the 24 hours, and I'll make a presentation of everything that's good about Eden, Eden on EOS, and got it.
I love it.
All right. So do I have your email? Did you send me your email address?
I thought I sent it. Let me double check because the send window's not there.
I'm checking in my Telegram right now.
Well, I sent it to your email, but I can.
Oh, you did? Oh, no, that's good. I've got my cell phone is pretty smart. Let me see.
Because I use my Proton mail address since it's legally related.
This is crazy.
Google, just so you know, Google auto-deleted my messages from Legal Shield when I was dealing with PayPal. At that time, I went through a whole series of technical, quote-unquote glitches that were more reminiscent of nefarious meddling during a time period where I was investigating things and like that don't want to be looked into. And it's like shit like my account pins, my ATM pins were changed, stopped working. My account was frozen, locked up for a $1 Google Pay transaction. Then this 2FA shit with PayPal, and how those sits. So dude, there is technological interference that I've experienced historically when I do certain things. I always every time I go to start publishing websites, I get hacked or something so I have to keep like upping my game. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Who's doing this? And it's like, I don't like talking to too many people about it because the last time I started trying to video record this shit and broadcast it, then my shit went haywire. That was when then it was like, that was the time, it was because it was the social bots on Facebook that I was exposing that caused all that, my bank account pins being changed, the Google Pay, the PayPal thing. And so I was getting pissed off. I was like, dude, I'm being fucked with or targeted. I don't know who's doing it. And then when I researched that shit about PayPal, I didn't even tell you about this. Oh, and do you know, I need your help getting my fucking legal ID or license because my mom changed my birth certificate filed for my social security card with a middle name of Richard when it wasn't on my birth certificate, didn't amend it. And so when I went to renew my license, I can't even get a legal ID or license now. It's been almost 2 years. And I filed for an amended birth certificate in the state of California Department of Vital Statistics. And they sent me back a copy that's not even amended. It's the same thing. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what do I do? And it's like, I can't buy Bitcoin because of it. I flew in a plane, believe it or not. Yeah. But it's like, this is madness, the shit I go through. Like, if there's such a thing as targeted individual, I'm definitely one.
Okay. I got your Proton Mail email, so I'll send you. Let's see, what time is it now? Oh yeah, it's only 9:40 Pacific time right now, so we're good. We have a while before 2 o'clock, and but I think it's hilarious. Every time you call me and you have surprises, I'm never surprised, Doug. So it sounds and I love your ideas. I think I'm happy to be working with you because you're a natural born social maniac, which is a term of endearment.
Well, I would maybe even call it megalomaniac.
Yeah, and that's why you need me.
Exactly. I'm like, Jay, help tone me down, bring me back to Earth. I'm in outer space. What kind of risk and liability am I taking by going out here in left field? I really want to go out in left field.
Yeah. Big risks, but hey, go big or go home. So I'm all in favor of you taking big risks. I'm for better or for worse on your, as soon as you send me a reply email where I've joined your team, and that's, talk about scary, but hey, you only live once.
Right? Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, anyways, man, I'm going to get back. Oh, yeah, what I'm going to focus on now, and I've been really putting this off, is just getting StreamYard set up. Did I send you the video with me and my friends screwing around with StreamYard?
Okay, so am I hearing you right? Between now and 2 o'clock, you're going to get StreamYard fired up and rolling, and we'll use it today at 2.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we want to do a dry run or test before then.
Before 2?
Yeah, just like a 5-minute thing.
You're going to, if it's working, we'll use StreamYard. If it's not working, we'll just use YouTube.
Oh, no, StreamYard works, but I've used it before. I'm just going to upgrade to the full version, but I want to be able to stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter and everything all at the same time and pull in chats. It's a much more sophisticated software. So basically, like when people type in a chat in any of the systems, I can pull it into the stream and display it. So like somebody asks a question.
One of our mottos, Doug, is one action at a time. Let's try and use StreamYard because that's our next right action to take. Then if it works today.
Yeah, no, I've been waiting to use StreamYard. I've just been holding off because I was like, I'm not going to pay the fee till I start using it, and I didn't have a reason to do it. And so now I have a reason to do it. So I'm like, okay, I'm going with this.
I'm excited about it. Let's test it out today, but we'll just do it live and see how it works.
Yeah, because we don't even need to test it. I'm pretty sure it'll work fine. It's just that I haven't used the upgraded version. I just wanted to figure something out. But I don't mind figuring it out right on the stream. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the process. Like we're just learning in motion. This is where we're at. I'm teaching you as I'm learning.
I agree. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Cool. I'm glad you like it. And yeah, send me your thing. I'll be happy to just go for it because the reality is I don't think like the number of things I got going on, I'm going to need an attorney in all of them. You know what I'm saying? Or just some eyes on this, give me your feedback. I have trust with you. You're familiar with blockchain. So for me, it's sort of like the amount of time and involvement that it will take me to keep up my half of the 60% is not going to be necessarily significant because eventually we can just staff out things. It's not me having to do every single task, right? And that'll give me the ability to have the insurance that you're comfortable and you're motivated to see this business thrive. And if I can pay your bills there alone, then I know I have a solid partner. You get what I'm saying? To me, that's way more important than getting a bigger split or giving away too much or negotiating this or that. Because I know there's so much more value I can create and so many more businesses I can start and so much more money I can earn that doesn't really, it's negligible to me. Because the thing that's most important to me is you. You know what I'm saying?
Details, yeah. And that's one of the details, and this I think is common sense wisdom too, is that, and tell me if you think this is a wise idea. I want to make the 60-40 that applies to the revenues, like a split of the net profits that you get 60, I get 40. As far as control, I think that we should use the fallback. Hey, this is a partnership. It's 50-50. And so what happens is if we enter in a deadlock, I can't imagine that we would because when friends work together, they work together. But if we, and I don't, I can't even imagine but it's like a marriage. It's not even a prenuptial agreement. It's just an agreement that we have to, on issues of of heavy weight that we have to vote unanimously on how, like if someone sends us a letter that says like, you know, Twitter's going to deplatform you unless you pay us a $50,000 royalty payment by Monday. And it's like, Jay, should we just be deplatformed to write the $50,000 check? And it's like just a random example. And it's like, if we couldn't agree on that, then what we would do is say, oh my gosh, we need a mediator. Isn't that funny? We need a mediator who's neutral for both of us and says, hey, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Why don't you write the $50,000 check because it's in your best interest? And then we both give it a thumbs up. You know, so it's like if we reach an impasse between the two of us, then we'll just have a clause in our deal that says, hey, call a mediator, get it worked out, you guys, and that's how your partnership is going to be healthy. Uh-oh. Hey, Doug, I lost you.
When you say mediator, because when you say mediator and what I heard you describe it, it sounds more like the mediators that I'm familiar with that are mediators in the realm of, you know, courtrooms and litigation and attorneys, which to me is more like arbitration than mediation. Because mediation, as I know it, is different than mediation that's known like court-appointed mediation. Court-appointed mediation is more like arbitration. It's more like subtle diplomacy. But the kind of mediation that I'm interested in and that I practice is transformative mediation, which is a little different. But I don't really know or care. I think at this point, I'm all.
You know me. I'm all about. I don't even think that we would ever have a conflict. In transformative mediation is fine with me. It basically means we circle in some friends that maybe mutual friends, and it's like if we're really in a conflict, which I can't imagine, both of our personalities are just not like that or whatever, but I pick a friend, you pick a friend, and they say, you know, we need to call whoever.
Okay, now I'm just going to tell you right now, I think you're wasting your time talking to me about this right now.
All right,
because these kinds of nuances and details are so, like, there's so much detail that needs to be discussed, because as a mediator, everything you're saying is so unspecific to me and changing that it seems like you're not really certain what it is that you're trying to accomplish with the media. Like when you say mediation, you say mediation, but it's like I'm really into mediation. So exactly what, and then so I don't want to care to nitpick what kind of mediation you want. I just want to understand before I make an agreement. But I don't want to have to talk about this now because I want to talk about it later because I want to focus on getting prepared for tomorrow. Or excuse me, for June 1st.
So as a lawyer, I can say that partners can agree to agree, you know, down the road. And so we'll just leave that as an agree to agree. But there is a fundamental principle about revenue split 60-40, 60 goes to Dud. But as far as decision-making governance, I think maybe because we could come across an issue that has import, you know, to our partnership. And it's like we may have two different ideas. So is it okay with you if we just call each other, as far as governance, we have a 50-50 partnership right concerning voting. And that just implies that, you know, if we reach a deadlock, we have to get help to resolve it.
Yes. But getting help to resolve it,
That's where we would agree. We would agree to agree on that. So we don't have to worry about that right now. We just agree to agree on it.
Asking friends for help is different to me than hiring a professional mediator. And I thought you were trying to specify that in a verbal arrangement that, you know, was going to be codified. And I'm just like, what are you actually saying? Friends, or are you saying this or that? But now you're telling me it doesn't matter. That can be decided between us, I guess, or whatever. And I don't care. Like I told you, I just don't want to be talking about this right now. I want to, at least it's messaging me. I'm trying to get back to getting this
I'll send you an email, and then we'll hook back up again at 2 p.m.
Okay, that's great. Awesome. Perfect.
Okay, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.